Alright, there's two angles from which you can tackle this job. Here's the first angle. And here's the second angle. Without removing the top, we will be using both angles. You're going to want to remove the 3 Phillips head screws from the protective plate. And hiding underneath, you're going to find the electrical plug. There's a little tab, I believe, on the left side of the screen toward the left. You just depress that tab, pull up, and it will release like so. And the 2 hoses there, the one on the upper left is the one that's going to be under pressure. It's the outlet. So stand back, don't put your face in it when you depress those 2 little clips and pull out. It's going to spray a little fuel at you. Handy little tip, I'm actually using the screen of my phone to see what I'm doing down there. I've got the camera running, obviously, and I'm just looking at the screen, looking at what my hands are doing. So it made it a little bit easier to see everything.
What's that?
Your camera to look and see what you're doing?
Yeah, it's a lot easier. We'll just put that on top of it. There we go. I think that's on both sides. Yeah, it is. All right. Is it going?
All right, so here we are coming at you in a different way. What we're doing now is we're removing 4 of the 8mm bolts that are holding the pump in the tank. I could only get the 4 from this angle. What we're going to do is we're going to come at you a different way again through the trunk to remove the other 4. And then I'm going to show you a little bit about how we remove the pump from the tank. Now, you got to accommodate for the float, for the gas gauge. You got to kind of angle it in a special way, and I'll show you a little bit about how we do that, and it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. All right, as I mentioned before, we like to come at you in all kinds of different ways, and here's one of the different ways that we come at you. You know, sometimes we come through the window, sometimes we come through the trunk. You know, this is just kind of the way that we do what we do to try and get you the angles and the videos and the shots that we want to get you, you know. So here you're going to see me removing the other 4 bolts, and I believe what I do is I remove, there's another bracket that's attached to the top of the pump, and it's a 10mm nut, so you're going to have to take a 10mm socket to use that to remove that, and then just kind of put it out of the way. You know, put it out of your mind, out of sight, out of mind. That's what I always say. If I don't see it, I don't know it's there. So you know, I don't see any of this shit, so none of it's there. And you know, speaking of not being there, the 10mm nut is not there. It's already been removed, and the bracket is out of the way. As you can see to the right of your screen, you can actually see the nut that I removed, and it's right there. Now, if you're wanting to know the location of that, it's about 7 o'clock. If you were to look at this this pump here like a clock, it's about 7 o'clock. You know, so it would be like sundown, you know, with daylight savings or whatever. So that's where the 10mm bolt is, and then the rest of them are 8mm bolts. And as you can see right now, I have all of those out, and I'm removing the pump. And here is the special way that we remove it, so that we accommodate for the float in the tank. We don't bend the bar. And I don't know why I've adopted this stupid accent. But here we are, bada boom, bada bing, bada bing, Betty Crocker. The pump's out of the tank, and now I'm going to show you a little bit about how we disassemble and remove the actual electric pump from disassembly. So stay tuned for that. Lay it on a towel, complain about your hands being dirty, and then we go to the next scene.
Now I am.
Okay. So I've already taken the clamp loose here. So you just got to push a little deal here, get that down. Like that. And then
Take the plug for the
pinch that.
tank float out.
Yeah.
Take the
Pinch
plug for
that.
that out.
And then that's already loose. And I've already taken this off the bottom.
Okay.
And then all you got to do is just pull it out.
Slide it out.
There you got it.
Covered in fuel. Now, here is the replacement, which is slightly longer, which makes sense if it's going to create more liters per hour.
Okay.
Probably going to be bigger. Put that on like that. Line it up. Papa.
So that's new, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is it even? Now that goes on top of that. We reckon.
Well, I
And then-
guess there's no instructions, so we're
Flying by the seat of our pants.
see this in here fits under this thing for some reason.
I don't know.
All right, so we get that centered up,
Feet,
right?
feet pics, OnlyFans, hashtag toesies.
That's
And there's your
down there.
the baggie with the goods.
My new one, huh?
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I just pull on it.
Come on, you. Ah! Okay.
That took entirely too long.
Entirely too long, huh? Okay.
In case you're wondering whose hands those are, they're my father's.
Oh, yeah.
My 73-year-old father, 74 now.
74. Yeah.
74 now, and owner of the S2000.
Okay.
Got it on there?
I think it's on. Does it look on?
I'll inspect it. Looks like shit on one side. But I imagine
Go down a
it'll,
little more.
I imagine it'll do the trick.
For a 74-year-old man, well, we'll just make it right.
You done it right this long.
All right, that look a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we'll slide that bear down.
Maybe a hair more.
And you know what we should try? This. Rumor has it these are very similar.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect indeed.
So we don't need to do no wiring.
So here's kind of what I was thinking on this. And it's going to require,
You could have got that clamped on there like that. So.
well, yeah, I know, but I think it would have been too tight, you know? Well, that didn't quite work out the way I anticipated. But that did.
Okay, the gray one goes behind. Yeah.
They fit where they fit. Pull that out a little bit for it to fit.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, is that one all the way clamped up in there? This one?
No, this little fucking thing.
Huh?
That thing doesn't. Oh shit. Well, well.
Well, it gonna be nothing.
that it?
Well, as far as I can tell, it is.
All right. Cool.
So this isn't going to be in that way of that, is it?
No, that sits right on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we ought to be good.
I feel like we are. Oh, we're right back in there then, I guess.
I think we should. Let's see here.
I'll pause and have a beer first.
Oh, no.
No?
Yeah, let's shove it in there and then have one for a success story.
Oh, okay. All right.
All
Celebrate.
right?
All right.
All right, here we go. One of the things that's different with this kit is down here at the bottom, it's got a rubber little unit that goes around the pump that sucks it up into this casing. The other one had a clamp. You think you saw it?
A brace that
Yeah, clipped
attached to it
clipped
that
up
held.
around those clips right there.
Correct.
Yeah.
So really, essentially, the only two things holding this pump in this housing is this clamp here,
Yeah.
and how we have it wedged in there with this.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
You need to make sure that's wedged in really fine.
Ain't no structure.
Ain't no structure, so we're making it up as we go.
We're just, and I doubt that's gonna fall out.
Well,
Famous last words.
famous last words. I don't want to be driving down the road,
If it does, it's
racing
under,
a Corvette, smoking his hiney, and then having the pump quit on me.
if it does, it's covered under full warranty. You just bring it back and we'll swap it out. So I will do this.
Going in from the bottom.
Yeah, getting that float in there first.
Yeah.
Float and filter. Getting these hoses out of the way. And yeah, this would have been the part that would be easier with that damn top off.
Oh, yeah.
However, okay, let's see here. This went like this ish. And if we get the hoses out of the way, it should sit on there. This back piece here is what's
Got it?
oh.
Actually, now that I look at it in a different way, it looks like that 10mm nut that's holding the bracket down, that's holding the cables for the trunk and whatnot. It looks a lot like it's about 8:30. It's not 7 o'clock like I said earlier. Maybe I had a foggy view or something, but now I got a better view because I looked at it in a different way than before. And now guess what? You know, it's 8:30. It might even be 8:45 till 9. You know what? We'll call it 8:45 till 9. So when you're reaching your fingers up in there, that's probably the first nut you're gonna take loose. I'm gonna tell you, it's about 8:45 till 9. So just keep that in mind. Capiche? And now all you gotta do is you gotta plug that plug in there, and then you can put that plate back on. Speaking of plugs, I gotta re-up. Screw that. Screw that also. These are Phillips head screws. It's very easy. You don't want to over tighten them because they're going into plastic. That's a nice little ratcheting 1/4 inch. It goes both ways. You can loosen or tighten, righty tighty, lefty loosey. It's pretty handy for jobs like this, jobs where you got to get in tight. You got your little 90 there, and it takes care of it. It's a good thing. I believe it's Craftsman. It's an older tool. I stole it from my father about I'm gonna say about 15 years ago. I bet, something like that. So he forgot about it. There's a grace period when you can whip tools out in front of your father that you stolen from him. You know, you gotta wait a certain amount of time. All right, after you're done patting yourself on the back for getting doing a job well done, what you're gonna want to do: hook the battery up, hop in there, and you're gonna want to prime the pump. Now, there's a certain number of times you're gonna want to prime the pump, and that number will be disclosed to you by my father in this clip.
3 times? Yeah.
Three times. That's how many times. Prime that pump 3 times, and then you can go ahead and start the car.
We don't know. See, the problem this thing was having is when it sits for a little while, and by a little while I mean a couple of days.
No, actually only about 6 hours or so. About 6 hours.
6 hours.
And then when you go to start it, it lobs. And then when it feels like when you turn an engine off and it detonates, that's what it sounds like start.
It's a little bit of a
Pretty close to just what he said.
I think I actually have a video that I can clip in here of it doing it. But yeah, it sounds like absolute dog shit. And we got word that it could be the fuel filter or the fuel pump, so we just went ahead and changed them both. And we got a new one dangling in the tank now, so we'll see if it alleviates that problem. If it doesn't, we're just gonna go on another little hunt and see if we can find what the actual issue is.